1 year on since the bull market of 2017, and a lot has happened in the space in that short amount of time. So much in fact that it's difficult for most to grasp where we are, where we're heading, or even the underlying technology behind blockchain and the challenges and roadblocks being faced along the way. Today I'll be breaking down an article from CoinDesk by Kevin Fizer titled Blockchain Gaming, Separating Signal from the Noise. Links to the articles in the description. Let's jump into it. What's up guys and girls, welcome back to Core Gaming. My name is Smirk. I hope you're having a great new year so far. Games frequently serve as an experimental playground for new technology. Since the launch of CryptoKitties, a digital cat breeding game built on Ethereum roughly a year ago, games have provided a digitally native playground for early adopters to experiment with the unique benefits of open protocol. Currently, most of the top dApps by transaction volume are games, and that's pretty easy to see by just taking a look at sites like DappRadar. While there's a lot of early excitement in the blockchain gaming space, there's some rightful skepticism too. Tony Sheng's post on why Fortnite probably won't embrace a blockchain anytime soon sparked a great discussion about how the tech fundamentally changed in-game economies, and I think that's what this is really about. Changing the developer landscape, changing how entire digital economies function and affect the real world. Gamers are primed to understand these fundamental economic systems. At its core, his post argues that incumbents in the gaming industry won't likely embrace blockchain because true scarcity breaks their existing business models. His post dives deep into the economic incentives that cause games to close their economies. Yes, if games bring crypto to the masses, they will have different business models. Blockchain represents a fundamental business model shift from value extraction in closed ecosystems to value capture in open ecosystems. Meaning, instead of a closed-off environment where developers control the supply, the demand, you work in more of an open system where developers and players actually create an economy with real value. Players are coming and putting in value, taking out value, and there's economic incentive to participate. That's the difference. So in closed systems, say there's restrictive monetary policies, locks on transfers, fees, and etc. like that. New entrants have yet to figure out how to capture value in open ecosystems. I think this is one of the most fascinating things that they're exploring, how we're going to incentivize and potentially monetize our gaming time. You may pay an entrance to get in, but as you do with any game, but you've also got the incentive that you may develop value in game that you can transfer freely between yourself, between anybody you like. Weeding the signal from the noise. The bull run in crypto made it difficult to weed signal from noise in tech's gaming subsector. Rising prices created a deep-pocketed community of ether-rich early adopters to engage in early dApps. Enter CryptoKitties, and we're talking end of 2017 here. A digital cat breeding game and the first mainstream-oriented blockchain gaming experience. CryptoKitties was incredibly exciting to the tech community. The fact that you really owned in-game kitties and make Ethereum flipping them sparked a viral loop and culminated in the infamous CryptoKitty bubble of 2017. At the peak, cats sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars a piece. And it's true, and you don't need to go far. That's one of the main stories behind blockchain so far, and it's been the incentive, obviously, for a lot of companies to jump into this space. So I guess it caused a lot of problems as much as it sparked the flame. At launch, CryptoKitties was a fully vertically integrated game that used smart contracts as its database. The CryptoKitties business model was actually highly traditional. They sold Generation 0 kitties and took 3.75% of the cut every time a kitty was sold. I may go into breaking down CryptoKitties, but for now, it's proved its point, it's proved its worth. It may be something worth experiencing in the future, but for now, the crypto collectible side of things is great, but I'm more interested in people implementing gameplay and converting these traditional gaming mechanics. You saw a lot of CryptoKitty clones, you saw a lot of companies come along and try to replicate their success, which is what it was at the end of the day. But, I mean, the concepts are more based on the traditional trading card concept ideas. It's traditional gaming at its heart. It's more board gaming than it is a digital experience in a digital world, and that's really what the core of video games is about. It wasn't quite gaming to me, but it was still a cool concept, and it laid the foundation for people to think outside of the box when it came to blockchain, understanding blockchain, and it was just one little step in the right direction for mass adoption. As many critics later pointed out, CryptoKitties could have built the same game on centralized infrastructure. They could have provided the exact same user experience on their website, and they could even still take Ether if they wanted to preserve the painful UX, and simply stored the kitties in a database. A non-crypto knowledgeable user wouldn't know the difference. I see where they're getting at. That's where we're heading now, is that we're deciding what experiences are going to be on-chain and off-chain, because the technology is letting down the experience. The pace, the user experience, the difficulty in adopting adopting these ideas lies in the fundamental blockchain concepts. This is another thing that's being decided. How much of the fundamental tech do you want users to have to be aware of in order to adopt your game? The more complicated you leave it, and the more you expect people to understand what's going on actually at the blockchain level, that is a deterrent to users itself. Absolutely. I'd argue that the real signal with CryptoKitties lay beyond the initial user experience. It was the ever so slight unbundling of the game. The logic layer of CryptoKitties now existed on a smart contract whose address and source code was now viewable to the public and could be recalled by anybody with an Ethereum address. Now any Ethereum developer could build an ever so primitive layer 2 experience on top of the game. Want to write a bot that snipes undervalued kitties? Want to create an explorer site where users can browse the recent sales? I like the open source idea of letting people build their own systems using the fundamental data of the blockchain, because that's really what it's for, is a publicly kept database of truth, of fact. Does this address own this digital asset? There's so much more that comes into play there as well, because not only do you own the underlying asset, the underlying cat, you also can tie in other digital assets and combine them in a unique fashion. These experiences didn't have to be complex. In fact, the first layer 2 experience was simply the existence of Etherscan. Right, the smart contract explorer nearly all Ethereum users have grown to depend on. Techie power users could go to Ethereum and read directly from CryptoKitties smart contract to inspect their kitties. A novel layer 2 experience was Kitty Hats. This is where it gets interesting. A set of ERC20 tokens that allowed you to accessorize your kitties. Kitty Hats drove up the value of individual kitties because now there was another thing you could do with them. So it was increasing the gaming user experience, but it was difficult to measure this impact and the experience was relatively isolated. It required downloading a Chrome extension and accessorizing on a separate website. Great in concept, but once again, the user experience, the thing that gamers rely on, the things that gamers interface with, was not there. The guiding hand behind people adopting this kind of stuff is making it so simplistic, yet where do you draw the line between wanting to let people know of the technology as opposed to just understanding fundamentally that you're making money by playing video games? So you can sell that idea to people, but that's not what you want it to be. You don't want it to become a video game casino, you know? Like, no. I want it to be looked at like you're investing your time into something, but not only are you enjoying your time, you're getting something out of it as opposed to wasting your goddamn time. Perhaps had the CryptoKitties team embraced Kitty Hats more fully by showing their accessories natively on the CryptoKitties website, Kitty Hats could have pioneered the first layer 2 business model. Because they didn't integrate these secondary markets that were springing up around their fundamental concept, they did not capture the market. All they did was let it slip by the wayside. This concept is still sticking around in blockchain gaming where you can have multiple different digital assets that interact together, but it's also opening the doors for companies to sort of collaborate together and go, okay, well, because we both exist on the Ethereum chain or even an Engine Coin, say, I'll create this item in this game, but then at the same time, people can bring over that item to your game and then it has an effect over there too. That blows my mind. I love that. Marketplaces were another layer 2 experience. This guy co-founded OpenSea with an idea that a generic layer 2 experience around trading games might contribute. But it's worth noting that OpenSea also failed to capture or contribute significant value to the CryptoKitties ecosystem. There's a lot of factors that come into play there as to why. How open all of these people are going to be to working towards a collaborative industry or to monopolizing their endeavors. It's really coming down to that. We got to figure that out first. How greedy do these guys want to be? The problem with layer 2 is it's just super immature and you need to squint to see it at work. It's unclear how much value CryptoKitties has captured from layer 2 experiences, and it's unclear how layer 2 experiences can capture value. There are many ways to experiment with that, but that's what it's going to be, an experiment. You're just waiting for that killer game to come along. You're waiting for somebody to just have the balls to just step out of the dark and go, here's the World of Warcraft of blockchain gaming. But many companies are competing for that, and it will be up to the market itself to dictate what it will be successful and what's not. And that's going to be also one of the major troubles, is people not understanding the companies, people not recognizing the companies, people not having faith in the fundamental ideas, and until something comes along and shows them that they can. There's so many factors here that that's why I'm putting a lot of attention onto certain people within this industry who I see are trying to make those right steps in the right direction and have the philosophy, have the mindset, have the team, have the talent, have the intentions of making what they promise and what they really truly dream to build. The artistic vision is far more valuable. That's all for part 1. I'll have another episode up in a couple of days. If you enjoy the content we create, head on over to Twitter to stay up to date with what we're doing. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video around, it really helps the channel. And of course, if you're interested in supporting the channel, we've got some merch on the way in the new year, so let us know if you're interested. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.